What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Wars. Today, I'm going to be talking about the best swing trading opportunities from last week, how I took those trades, where my targets were, how I managed the trade, and overall, if I was profitable or not. So if you're ready, let's step into the war zone. All right, guys. So the first thing is we have to look at the daily chart before we look at any swing trade opportunities to determine our bias. Okay. So coming into last week, Monday, we had this big bullish bar. This bar, however, closed outside the Bollinger Bands. So I was thinking to myself, we had this big rally here, and we're probably going to have a little bit of steam let out. And the other factor that I had going for this short potential was if I took the fib from the low to high of the daily chart, we had a nice alignment with this 886 retracement. And I like using that 886 retracement because it's usually the last line of defense for the trend to continue. So I knew that we'd probably have some reaction over here. So the first swing that I was able to capitalize on was we had the close on Monday, and then we had this nice inverted hammer followed by a big red bar. And then the next bar was a tweezer bottom, right? So this tweezer bottom means that the low of this bar and this bar were the exact same. So if we look, it says 35.2275, 35.2275. So I knew that this was the attempt for the bulls to try to hold this area to continue higher. But I also knew that we were pretty extended on the daily chart. Plus, we had this inverted hammer, and this led me to be on the short side and be looking for a short. So what I did instead of buying the long is I shorted below the low of this bar because I knew that a lot of stop losses were here, and that's evident by the tweezer candles. So I shorted right below the low and I took a stop right above the high of the bar, and I was looking for a 2R target. Okay, so I got filled actually in the night. So this is around 9 o'clock. I got filled, and then we kind of chopped around. And this is also the importance of why you don't move your stop, right? So I had my stop where it is because I knew that this area needed to hold in order for the short to continue. And I didn't jump the gun and move my stop up earlier because I was convinced that my short bias was correct. And until these levels break, then my bias is still intact. So I was able to hold through all of this retracement and then get this nice sell-off where I was able to take a 2R target. Okay, so if you missed that, there was also this beautiful inside bar at 11 trying to form a nice double bottom here. And once this low broke here, there was a nice little sell-off as well. So you could have taken a short right below this low. So let's set it up. You could take a short right below this low with a stop right above the high. Fix that. And your 2R target right there. So that's another beautiful trade as well. So after we had the initial sell-off and I locked in profits, I was thinking, okay, what's the next setup? And I went back to the daily chart, and then we saw that, okay, we had this red close and we had a lot of room to the mid Bollinger Band. So there was a lot of room for us to go down and to get back into this area of support, because this mid band, like as you see over here and in the past, likes to act as a nice area of support. So I was thinking that we could get back here eventually. So if I go back to the hourly chart, we had this hammer bar followed by this inverted doji, and then we kind of trended up, right? But what I did have on was also my fibs from this high to the low. And if you notice, we had nice rejections at the 50 and the 618. So coming into the open that day, this was around 7 a.m., I had this inside bar form here as well. And if we just look at this pattern, this was a double bottom pattern trying to form, right? And because I still was short bias again, I decided that I wanted to short below this long wick red bar because I could see the bulls were trying to make a double bottom basing pattern. But once this wick was blown through, I expected that we would break through all of the support. And I knew we had room on the daily chart. So I was able to take a short right below this wick and take it down here for 2R as well. And luckily, my 2R turned out to be nice where this reversal was. So again, we could see that the shorts were in control That's how I capitalized on the short over here, and that's how I capitalized on the short over here. As we started getting over here, I started getting a little bit nervous on, should I continue to short, because we already had a pretty significant drop. And so what I did instead was I waited for the price action to tell me what to do. And at first we had this inside bar here and this nice like triple hammer formation. And I attempted to go long here, but then we saw this nice inverted hammer. And this really tripped me out because I wasn't sure who was in control, because we could see that both sides were fighting. So I ended up instead deciding that because of this inverted hammer that I wanted to short. And how I did it was the same concept that I did before. Is I realized that the bulls were trying to get long here. So I shorted right below the low with a stop, not on the wick, but a little bit lower. So right around here by using a fib level. And I was able to get out right at the bottom here for 2R on partial of my position. So that was another awesome trade. But this all came from the daily chart telling me that there was room for the shorts to have a little retracement. And I was able to capitalize on those. And then at this point, I didn't take this play, but I wish I had, was at this point, if we drop the full retracement from the last swing low to the high, we had a nice 50% retracement trade. And because I was still in the short, I wasn't able to capitalize on this, but we had a nice double bottom pattern as well. And this would have been a nice opportunity to close off the week long right above this hammer bar, stop right below the low of the 50. So this candle would have went through, then popped up, filled you, and then continued higher. And that's easily a 2R play over there. 3, 4, at the very top, 4.5. So that's how you capitalize on swings, guys. You have to look at the higher time frame to tell you what is the path of least resistance for the swing, for the opportunities. So I like to look at the daily for the bias, then go down to the hourly for the execution so I can get a better entry. Okay. So that was the recap of the swings. So in general, look at the higher time frames, look at where the trapped shorts or longs are, and build your trade accordingly. And the main thing that we should take away is, always go for at least 2 to 1 on your trade, because if we do it like that, we only need to be right 36 out of 100 trades to make profit. And that's, what it takes at the end of the day, is not being accurate all the time, but having a great risk to reward. All right. So I hope that helped you guys with looking at swings and time frame alignment. I am starting a new website soon, which is going to have a lot more details on what I do, what I offer. The Twitter has been going great. I just passed 1,400 followers, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I am taking new students for November. If anyone is interested, please, DM me or leave a comment below, and let me know what other topics you guys want to talk about, and I'll keep bringing out the free content. All right. Appreciate all of you. Have a great evening, and looking forward to the open tomorrow. All right. Take care. Bye.